And I mean, I don't know, because of the financial failure, so to speak, of the first two games, you know, they spent a lot of money and they didn't get a lot
Sega,
back.
yeah, I'm not willing to take a risk.
That's why I don't think they want to risk it, or they don't even want to go there.
But how much money are they spending on all the other crap that they're making? That they can't. I mean,
that's true.
Well, to be honest, you know,
because games like Born, Conspiracy, Fahrenheit, Heavy Rain, Yakuza. The Heavy Rain hasn't come out yet, but the other ones, they've done good. So it's not a matter of if we make Shenmue 3 now, it's not going to sell. It will sell.
Yeah.
That formula, you know, the button presses, quick time events.
It is actually quite
that's
popular.
proven now.
Yeah, that's actually
quite popular.
Yeah, even Ninja Blade.
Yeah, that did it quite well.
Yeah, that did mildly okay.
Resident Evil 5 even. Well, they did it slightly different. With
exactly. They did it slightly different, but people like that kind of thing. If it's implemented correctly, people like it.
Yeah.
And Shenmue implemented it properly.
I think what Sega should do, they should release the first two games on the new generation consoles, or even online, like you know, arcade games. They
That's
should
true.
reset one of them, just to get people
let's
into
see,
it.
Yeah, let's see who actually
people like it,
playing the idea. Yeah,
and
because the
if
thing
it works, I think they should definitely go for
because Dreamcast
Shenmue.
itself has got a lot of catalogue out there. Of games.
Yeah, big catalogue.
There's a big catalogue
really good games.
That's it. I mean, they're still not released. Potentially, 50% of the stuff that's out there for them. You know. And when it comes to games like Shenmue, it's clear there's a story there that needs to be told still, or needs to give some sort of closure.
Yeah.
So I think they should, but
I think it's a shame because Yakuza, like I said, I've played Yakuza 1 and it's basically a replica of Shenmue.
When you play it, you think, okay, I'm playing Shenmue, but
literally
a different shade of colour. That's what you think.
The cameras are obviously a little different. It's more fixed cameras, and
yeah.
Shenmue with more the cameras behind the main characters back. But they've done a wicked job on Yakuza. I think almost perfection on Yakuza 1. I haven't played Yakuza 2 because that's not out yet, but I think they've done a really good job on that. So I think they really should.
You know what game I hope
3.
that Sega bring to console is Virtua Fighter 5R. I mean, I know you guys aren't much of fans of that game, but Virtua Fighter itself is just excellent game. You know?
Is that the arcade version?
5R. It had 2 new characters. They brought back the sumo guy. The big
so this is the latest version.
Yeah, this is, and they got a version B of it out as well. So and they got a new character called Jean. So he's like, it looks like he's supposed to be French, I think, French character.
Okay. Virtua Fighter have a big cast on that, right?
It's actually got about 17 characters now, I think. It's nowhere near as big as something like Tekken with like 40 to 50 characters.
That's crazy. I think that's too much.
You know what?
A lot of them, they're just a show.
Yeah, most of them are replicas. That's true.
It's just like you got Wong Jin Rei. He's like some old geezer. Yeah. And he's got moves lists similar to Michelle Chang, you know, and it's like, well,
or Horang and what's his?
Well, Horang and Baker are totally different fighting. You know, they might do taekwondo, but the way you play is totally different. But then you got the Kazuya and then the Jin, karate. They have similar moves.
But they have to be because of story wise.
Then you got Heihachi similar, you know. But with the Virtua Fighter, each character is so unique. Yeah. No matter what they do, is like, whoa, I'm learning how to play a new character. It's like I'm learning how to play a new game almost. So with Sega, they're good in that sense that they've made it so each character is unique. But they wanna, I don't know why they're not releasing Virtua Fighter 5R to the console so far. I think it would be a big hit.
They released the original one, which
Evolution, when that was like an arcade update, and then that went to console. But I don't know why.
But they came on the PS3 first.
What was that? Virtua Fighter 5. Yeah,
then Virtua Fighter 5 came on the
360.
Xbox.
Yeah, with online, that was real. Everyone was so peed about that one. They were like, "How comes?" You know what? The worst thing was, they go, "Oh, it's not feasible at the moment to make an online version." Oh, and then 2 months later, they make a 360 version.
I think they were making it while they were making that.
That kind of took the pee when you heard that.
So I think they should for PlayStation or 360.
And then releasing Virtua Fighter 5 again.
Yeah, but they did it before.
Why can't they just do a patch? Because don't forget, standard in characters, literally all it is. You know how big characters are. In terms of size.
You know what? They could just do a patch if it's just characters.
The thing is though that every game they release, they refix everything: the character models, the character stages, the lighting effects.
I don't think they would.
Smooth. They do. If you see the arcade,
no, I don't think they will re-release it again though.
I hope they do.
I think they'll probably get a lot of backlash saying, they released 3 Virtua Fighters. Okay, they're on 2 different consoles, but
but look at
3 times now.
Look at Tekken 5 and Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. There wasn't much difference between.
True.
If anything, the only thing that you got was better graphics. with Tekken 5 and new character stages, you know, or you know the stages in general, and new costumes.
Yeah,
Costumes,
that was it. But Sega did that as well, but I don't know.
I don't think Sega's priority.
Back to Shamu for your tangent.
Well, we're on Sega.
Hey, it's all about Virtua Fighter.
Still on Sega, I guess.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I love my cinematic games. I think it's a shame that they're not able to finish the story.
Yeah.
I think Sega should definitely try and get Yu Suzuki back on board.
He's
seeing as you know, he went and you know he was a big part of the first two games. Yeah, I think they should try and get him back on board and just try and get the game made, man.
Yeah.
For all us dying fans out here.
Before you're too old.
Not even just for dying fans. It's not even correct just to have half a story done and then you just leave it.
What's wrong with you, Sega?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know you're listening to this, so you know, sort it.
Yeah. So what was the last thing?
And on to our next detailed topic. Every multiplayer game should have an online and offline mode.
Yeah.
With multiplayer bots.
Yeah.
Go at it, Suj.
You know what? This one, I got the biggest gripe for this.
Okay,
for
good.
Metal Gear Solid Online. You know.
Yeah.
Personally, the game itself was great. You know, I like playing it online, but when it came to playing high-level players, oh my good god! You know, they will shoot you in your face.
Yeah.
From like another building, and you don't know where the hell they are, or they'll just look at you and you're shot in the face. It's like, okay, you know, I understand you guys are good, and you know, you personally had no lives.
But don't you think that's also, I understand what you're trying to say, you want bots in there, but don't you think that's sometimes got to do with the matchmaking system as well? Why is Konami pairing up someone low?
No, the thing is though, it's easily accessible that you don't have that, that you can go into easy level rooms and stuff, but when it comes to learning tricks and learning new ways of playing the game, or just having some fun with it, maybe you don't want to get shot in the face all the time, you know, or something, or people that use those what's it called? Those things where it makes the game slow and yours is alright. What's it called, man?
Laggers,
lagging, It's some sort of lag chip or something. Or someone has these ways.
People just mess around the connection.
People actually can do it. He was playing Street Fighter the other day, and I just purposely tried to download something.
And the game went slower.
Exactly. People lag it on, you know,
people do it on purpose.
And then it's like, you know what? It just kills the joy of the game, you know. And if there's an offline mode, I personally think that sometimes I don't want to play competitively. I just want to have some fun with it, you know.
I think
so like for example, Quake 2 or Quake the original had an offline mode.
Even online. I mean Unreal.
Yeah, Unreal has it as well. So. And assault mode on Unreal was really fun, you know, and you could play that day in, day out without having to worry about it, you know. Similar with Gears, you know, it's got Horde mode. You don't have to play that online. You can play it locally or online, you know. And personally, I think that games, you know, when you start a level, you want to learn how to play on that level.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just gonna learn what to do by
but then you could argue. You should have learned all the tricks and stuff while you're playing the main game.
But the thing is, in Metal Gear in particular, you can't actually play those levels.
Yeah.
Because
they're brand new levels.
Oh, okay, so it's totally
they're
different.
multiplayer specific. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't actually play them in the real game, and if you did play them in the real game, you have a set story to do.
Okay.
You can't just decide to discover something new.
because
the level maps are catered towards a particular goal, you know.
And not just a particular goal, a particular style of play as well. It's true you can't just gun yourself all the way through.
Exactly.
But the way the game's built is that certain levels force you to play a certain way.
Exactly.
And if you don't, then.
And I think it will be a bit more fun if you learn to play the levels. You know, you learn how to know where things arrive. You know, or whatever. You know where a good hiding point is, or you know how to take advantage of this scenario, that scenario, you know. I think it makes it a bit more strategic for gamers, you know. And then when you're ready for it, you can say that, oh, you know what, these guys are taking advantage of my situation, or this or that, and you can actually, you know, look back at it and think, you know, all right, now I need to improve this way or that way, you know. Not just getting shot in the face every 10 seconds or being lagged in.
Unreal Tournament 3 was a perfect example because what they did was the entire game is online multiplayer. As we all know, most of the games are. But they had a campaign. And the campaign was basically bots the same way with Horde. But in the campaign, they teach you how to play
all
the modes. So they had some this is the first time I played an Unreal game properly on a PS3, and they had modes that I hadn't even heard of. Obviously, you've heard of things like Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, and this kind of stuff, but